So I have some more information here about the city. Just to let you know that the University of São Paulo has 8 campi in the state. Maybe you're not so familiar about Brazil and about São Paulo state. Did someone here go to Brazil before? No? Nobody? Oh, just one here. Henry too. William, for sure, he did his PhD there, but he's there, running to make everything work here. So this is our ecosystem in São Paulo state. You can see that, actually, I have to tell you, this is not common in Brazil. Maybe this is why São Paulo is a different state when compared to the rest of the country. We have many universities, state universities there. From time to time, I need to breathe. I'm not used to the altitude up to now, okay? So if I stop, it's because I'm trying to get some air. São Paulo, it's not the smallest state in Brazil, but it's not the biggest one too. We have almost 250,000 square kilometers, our area, and the population is quite big, 46 million people. São Paulo City is like Bogota, maybe a little bit bigger, 12 to 13 million people. And you can see that we have 36 campi of state universities in the state. So this makes a big difference because we are spreading opportunities everywhere in the state. So students have opportunity to do research, not only in the capital, but everywhere there, okay? And there is São Carlos. So when it comes to São Carlos, São Carlos is also not a typical city in Brazil. We have a population of approximately 250,000 inhabitants, but 30,000 students. So this also makes a difference there. The distance to the capital city is approximately 230 kilometers. Our HGI is quite big compared to the rest of the country. And we have 1 PhD per 100 inhabitants. So this is really cool when it comes to ecosystem focus on innovation, okay? 3 public universities, 1 private one, 3 technical schools, and so on. So this is very interesting when it comes to having an ecosystem for innovation, okay? This is a short movie about São Carlos showing the city. So it changed quite a little bit from the time that you were there, Henry. The movie is in Portuguese, but you can see some scenes of the city, the parties of the students like to have parties. And, wow, you have in Portuguese there. It's showing not only the university, but the city and the companies. It's very interesting because it shows some very high-tech companies. Today we have one focused on aerial robots. XMobot is the name of that company. And this company has almost 1,000 employees. So it's quite a successful company. And it started at USP. It was a startup. And today is one of the largest companies focused on drones in Brazil. That's XMobots. So we have Volkswagen there. We have other companies like Electrolux, Siltomac. 100% of the water there is treated so we don't pollute the rivers. So it's not a big city. It's calm. By the way, we have a great number of students there from Colombia as well. doing master, PhD, and also this exchange students program for undergraduate students. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Later you can watch the movie. And basically that's the aerial view of the city. We have two campuses of USP there, one downtown area and the other one a little bit closer to a shopping mall, a big shopping mall there, and the Federal University of São Carlos. And Embrapa is a research center focused on agriculture, is very close to USP. So we are always meeting everyone and having crazy ideas how to use robotics to improve the life, okay? So that's it. Going the aerial view of the city. And this is the São Carlos Engineering School. You have a website in Portuguese, English, and Spanish. And it's a pity that we don't have the sound because there's a Spanish movie that I'm gonna play soon. Some numbers for you to have an idea about the school. Today we have 176 professors there, all of them with a PhD, and 9 academic departments from environmental engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, industrial engineering, and so on.
En los últimos años, la búsqueda de ingenieros en el mercado se ha intensificado. El papel de la ingeniería en Brasil ha alcanzado una dimensión vital para desarrollar la infraestructura y las actividades productivas del país, buscando el aumento de la productividad y competitividad. La Escuela de Ingeniería de São Carlos de la Universidad de Sao Paulo ha formado profesionales desde hace más de 60 años, los cuales trabajan en instituciones privadas y entidades públicas de reconocida competencia. La Escuela de Ingeniería posee una gran infraestructura. En total, son aproximadamente 80.000 metros cuadrados de área construida, con más de 40 salones de clases y alrededor de 90 laboratorios. El servicio de biblioteca les permite a los alumnos tener acceso local a aproximadamente 360.000 documentos, entre ellos libros, revistas científicas, tesis y otros tipos, además del acceso electrónico de los más diversos periódicos de diferentes áreas. La Escuela de Ingeniería de São Carlos posee 9 departamentos. La unidad está en constante expansión en el campo de las actividades de enseñanza, investigación, cultura y extensión. Son aproximadamente 220 profesores con doctorado y en su mayoría de dedicación exclusiva. Los cursos de pregrado ofrecidos están entre los de mayor competitividad del país. Se ofrecen aproximadamente 500 cupos al año y hasta hoy la escuela ha graduado a más de 10.000 alumnos. Todos los cursos evaluados por la guía del estudiante están entre los mejores del país. Los cursos de pregrado de la escuela se caracterizan por una sólida relación con las actividades de investigación llevadas a cabo por los profesores en programas de posgrado, proyectos individuales o integrados y prestación de servicios. El Departamento Departamento de Cultura y Extensión de la Escuela de Ingeniería promueve cursos de especialización, difusión cultural y extensión para la sociedad, al mismo tiempo que apoya las actividades extracurriculares de los alumnos. Los programas de posgrado de la Escuela de Ingeniería de Sao Carlos ocupan un lugar de renombre en el escenario nacional en relación con la evaluación CAPES. El promedio de alumnos inscritos es de 1.200 por semestre. La Escuela de Ingeniería viene captando recursos en agencias de fomento a través de convenios. Los grupos de investigación han coordinado y participado en proyectos financiados por la FAPES, CAPES, CNPq, FINEP y otras instituciones públicas y privadas nacionales e internacionales. En pro de la internacionalización, la Escuela de Ingeniería de Sao Carlos posee convenios con más de 40 universidades de excelencia en el mundo y ya ha enviado a más de 1.000 alumnos al extranjero. Los alumnos tienen la oportunidad de participar en los programas de intercambio internacional para obtener una doble titulación en pregrado y múltiple titulación en posgrado. Junto con las demás unidades de la USP, la escuela contribuye significativamente para los resultados del ranking de las mejores universidades del mundo. La Escuela de Ingeniería de Sao Carlos cumple su papel de formar profesionales altamente calificados para actuar en el mercado de trabajo y contribuir a la mejora de las condiciones sociales y competitivas del país.
Okay, I hope that it helped a little bit, the microphone here, for you to listen. So let's continue here. Okay, and another thing is that we are part of this research center called CEPOF. It's a research center focused on optics and photonics. Oh, but what are you doing? This is in the physics department. Yeah, we work with them because they develop instruments for agriculture, instruments to treat cancer or other things. And we are, as engineers, we are helping them to take this to the fields or to hospitals, develop new products, okay? So we work with them in the innovation area here. It's a very interesting group. As I told you, goes from cancer treatment up to atomic clocks. So the only Fontaine atomic clock in South Hemisphere is there. And it's pretty cool. For the ones that like electronics, it's really cool. They stop atoms in the vacuum with lasers. It's really interesting. When it comes to research projects with companies or just research projects with other partners and universities, we have this kind of model. And later I'm going to ask Henry to talk a little bit with you about FAPESP, because FAPESP gave him a grant when he was in Colombia and helped him to go to Brazil and then come back. So this is very interesting to listen for someone that did it before. It's the same today, okay? It's still the same. Those are government agencies, CNPq, FAPESP and CAPES, and EMBRAPI and FINEP. They help us to develop research. When it comes to basic level or EMBRAPI with companies. And that's the way we get financial support to give scholarships for the students and to keep them working full-time on the research. This is the robotics lab group. So I'm Marcelo. I work with mobile robots. And I'm going to show you a little bit the group. So on the top, the professors that are at USP, Adriano, Daniel, Glauco, me, and Thiago. And on the bottom, some former students that today are working in the Federal University of São Carlos, so we collaborate with them. It's also another opportunity to establish a partnership for you. So we have these groups, we have this research group, we're recognized by CNPq is development of mechatronic systems. And basically today we are working these 8 essential technologies. And I need to let clear for you that we don't develop AI, we are users, okay? So we have a problem, we are trying to solve a problem for a company, they want to use AI, so we are not developing something new. We are getting what we find, the literature, and then try to apply in their problem, okay? So we work with these robots, artificial intelligence, VR, blockchain, 3D printing or manufacturing, drones, and IoT and AR. And always trying to apply to problems found in industry. Okay, so the lab, rehabilitation lab. In this group, led by Professor Adriano, we had many students from Colombia. It's almost hard to say if there's a Brazilian there, because the Colombians are everywhere in this group, okay? And they are really hard workers, and they open doors for you, like Henry did some years ago in my group. So this is Adriano, his contact. Feel free to send a message. Just let him know that I was here visiting the university and give you his contact. So Adriano works with this rehabilitation robotics. He had the opportunity to go to MIT for a sabbatical some years ago, and he's the leader in this area in our engineering school. So that's what he does. He is the guy that works with control. So he works on modeling, control systems and robotics, exoskeletons, interactive robotic systems, rehabilitation robotics, H-infinite robust control, robotic manipulators, and fault-tolerant control and robust filtering. Okay. When it comes to reference systems, we have Daniel. Here his contact. He's the guy that loves electronics. He did part of his PhD in Paris, France. And today he's back to the Physics Institute, and he's leading a group there focused on atomic clocks. But when we develop a new robot, he's the guy that's always helping us with the embedded electronics, okay? So basically that's what he does. Atomic standards, transferable systems for fluorescence analysis. This is very interesting when it comes to applications on agriculture. Try to detect a disease before the disease spreads so they can stop the disease. Time and frequency reference applications. Glauco is the guy that's in the aeronautics department. Today he's the dean of the aeronautics department. He did all his PhD at ETH in Zurich, and also sabbatical at MIT. And today he's full professor in the aeronautics department. So he works on autonomous mechatronic systems, machine intelligence, deep learning and data analysis, real-time embedded systems, aerial robots, automation and robotics applied to critical areas such as rehabilitation, surgery, and aircraft assembly. So that's me, I think. Yes, that's me. You have my contact there. Well, I think I wrote too much. So in a nutshell, I did my undergraduate in São Carlos Engineering School. I did my master and PhD at Unicamp, and part of it at ETH. I did also sabbatical at PFL, and now I'm back there. When you prepare your presentation, you have the opportunity to write a lot about you. So mobile robots, design of mobile robots for inspection, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, intelligence, design of automation systems, robotic systems, and mechatronics. Basically, that's what I do. And the last one, Thiago, he works with Legged Robotics. He's the youngest guy there. Today, he's the dean of the lab. He studied in Santa Catarina, and then he went to do his PhD in Italy. After that, he did a sabbatical as a postdoc position at ETH, and then he came back to Brazil, and he's working with us. I think you notice that we have a strong relationship with ETH. Most of the professors there did something there. And this is quite interesting because it opened doors for us. We did that's what I was trying to tell you, giving his example. If you do a good job, you open the doors for the ones that come after you. You are like ambassadors. So it's important to work well and keep the doors open. In English, they have that say, don't burn the bridges. So because if you make a big mistake, you burn the bridge, the others won't go there anymore. So thanks God, we did a good job. We have a quite good relationship with the professors there. And this opened the opportunity for something that I'm going to show you in the end of the presentation. Okay, so, oh, sorry. So he works with hydraulic and pneumatic systems, modeling, and legged robots. This is what we are doing in my lab. So let me see where I didn't have a guy from Colombia here. Yeah, Colombians were everywhere here. See, it's hard. I need to have a look. Oh, no, don't. Forklifts. It was just in the beginning. It was before he went there. So that project, we didn't have any Colombia in the beginning. Okay, all the rest, we have Colombian people working with us. So that's a pleasure for me to come here and show this for you and to help you to be very proud of what you people are doing abroad. So we work there with field robotics. So it's not easy because we need to go to the fields. So there we don't have air conditioning, we don't have restrooms, we don't have cold water. So you need to plan everything in advance to don't suffer that much when you go to the fields. This project, for instance, everything was designed for a Colombian that today is working in the US. He finished the PhD there, Andrés Baquero, his name, he was from Villavicencio, and he finished the PhD in the group. He went for a postdoc in Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. I need to breathe. And today he is the manager of an area that designs new robots for agriculture there. They had a startup company, it's growing, it's called EarthSense, and Baquero is working there for 2 years now. So it's great to see the students going and doing a good job. So we work with this ground robots for agriculture. You see a spherical robot, a mini one that we used to test all the controllers, a big one that gave us lots of headache. And we use lasers, we use IMUs, we use cameras, everything to try to extract information about the environment that surrounds the robot and to develop controllers that can make them work autonomously. So it's very challenging. And we also work with these aerial robots. In this case, it's not like a toy. We need to design everything. We need to run some experiments in the wind tunnels. we need to do lots of modeling and simulations, okay, and go to the fields and try to run the experiments and improve what we are doing. Okay. And also some simulations with a mix of manipulator and aero robot. So sometimes we need to deal with difficult choices. To run this simulation, we need to go to a free software called Mujoko, because you have this touching thing. When you touch something and you are simulating that, it's kind of painful. But it worked pretty well. This student wasn't from Colombia. He was a Brazilian, one of the few ones. And today he's in New Zealand doing a PhD there. And I like to show this because this opens opportunities for you, even in Colombia. So if you want to start working with us on simulations, you don't need to be there. We can start developing some things. And as the research goes on, we can do more things together. And because we like to go to the fields, we always had a problem. When we wanted to publish a paper with our results, they were asking something like, okay, you developed the controller, you ran some experiments, but what's the ground truth? How can you prove me that in the fields it really worked the way you wanted? And you're like, how can I do that? When I go outside, I can't measure everything that's happening around. So that's why we invest on this cage. It's in the aeronautics department. We have many cameras there, so we can use the cameras and quantify the behavior of the robot. Okay. Just showing an example about agriculture. Some problems that we have, the acceptance of the farmers, the autonomy, because in Colombia, I think it's the same. You have big farms, small farms, but when you go to agribusiness people and say, okay, I have a robot that can help you, they come to us and ask, how long is it gonna work in the field? How many days? And it's like, oh, it has batteries. So it's not about days, it's about hours. So it's hard to convince them to invest on this. The costs are pretty high because in Brazil, we don't have companies that make IMUs, LiDARs, sonars, radars. So we need to import those sensors. So the price becomes very high. Even if in the university we don't pay taxes. When we do research in Brazil, we don't pay tax to import those sensors. But if you want to transform your idea into a product, then it becomes a problem. And logistics, how to use it in big farms. So in the department, the mechanical engineering department, research on agriculture started even before I went there. I arrived there in 2008. So in 2005, they already had that very simple model called HUM. The idea was to have an electrical powered robot that could go to the field with some sensors and measure things like how high is the plant, the chlorophyll, the colors, and things like this. In 2009, in collaboration with a Brazilian company called Jacto, they made that AgriBolt. And as I told you, it was really painful because it's too big. It's 3 meters by 3 meters by 3 meters. And if you have the opportunity to visit us there, you see that the campus is not that big. We have a soccer field in the middle of the campus, and the soccer field was the place that we used to run the experience. Nobody was happy with us because the traffic, we need to stop the traffic, go with this huge thing, going there with the security guys, stopping everyone, and then the field was, after the experience, you know, it wasn't good. So that's why I decided to go for smaller robots. We start with these little ones here, and as I told you, Colombian people everywhere here. We worked together for many years, developing this with Embrapa. We started the collaboration in 2014. And then in 2017, after I went to the US and visited people in Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, we established a cooperation. So we start sending some students from Brazil to there and vice versa. And we got 4 robots from the startup as gifts. They were donating the robots for us so we could run the experiments in Brazil and in the United States and share all the data, and it was great. And when I say sending students from Brazil to there, it's not Brazilian students, any student, okay? And this, and he can tell you a little bit later. The Brazilian research agents, they don't want to know where you're from. They want to know that you are good, you publish, you do your best. Okay, so all the students we send there, and some students that came from abroad to Brazil, they paid the airplane tickets, they paid the health insurance, and the scholarship during the period. Okay, this is important for you to know. So there are many options for you to go there and travel. I mean, not travel, to work. We had this Miran 1, Miran 2, Terra Sentia, Agris Firo. And we had this collaboration between USP, Embrapa, and the Federal University of São Carlos. It's interesting because you have different knowledge fields there, so we can work together and try to do something more complex. Okay, we had that hackathons supported by companies. So Cargill support that one, Sankaton, Future Farms, and it's nice because we involve undergraduate students and we motivate them to work on this field. Okay, And here, a short move about what we did in the lab, just focus on robots applied to agriculture. So you see, it's big. Headache. This was just to prove the concept of having a sensor embedded there. It's LIBS, see that flash? So you have a high, powerful laser. You evaporate the sample and get the image, put in spectrometers, and then you know the elements that were there. So this was in the US. This in the lab. So it's 4x4. And the idea was to have a passive suspension system that could keep the LIBS sensor the right position. So a short move, 1 minute, but you can see what they did there. And the name of the students. Okay, so last 4 years, 4 years ago, we started to work on legged robots. We hired Thiago, and we are almost getting a financial support for a nice project with Petrobras. Petrobras is the Brazilian version of Ecopetrol. Yeah. Okay. And everything was perfect. We were happy. We were signing the contracts, and the pandemic came. So, So we need to wait 4 years to make this reality true again. Okay. The idea is to have legged robots that could go offshore and onshore and to run inspection in critical areas, especially areas where you can have explosion. The inspiration was that in 2015 and 16, Petrobras hired us to visit many shipyards, see the problems that they had there, where they could use more automated systems, and to get new ideas, go out of the box, like this. So that time, we started to work with this. We went to Boston Dynamics in 2016. We visited Mark there. It's nice that when we work on research in university, you have many contacts. This is important, networking. So he was the owner of the Dynamics company, and we could spend the day with him talking about many crazy ideas we had. And as I told you, offshore and onshore main needs, reduction of the non-conformities in essential tasks, increase inspection routes, and early fail detection, minimize the presence of people in risk areas. So this was the focus of Petrobras. Why are they work on this? Because in Brazil, we extract oil not like in Colombia. We extract oil in the offshore area. Oh, this is Portuguese. I forgot to translate this. Okay. So it's about 400 kilometers far from onshore area. So it's quite, oh, thank you. I still have half an hour, okay. It's quite costly to keep this working. You need to send a fleet of helicopters with people to offshore platforms and come back. And it's lots of work. So they want to automatize that as much as possible, okay? So offshore facilities are more and more distant. Development of robotics solutions for oil and gas industry is becoming something that can really be trustful. Inspection, manipulation, cooperation, that's the idea they had. They want to offshore reduce costs and increase the safety, and especially early fault detection during the robot movement. So he's passing here, oh, I detect dangerous situation. No one needs to analyze that, and that's a nice opportunity for using AI, developing AI systems that can be embedded on those robots, okay? And just send a notification for the command center that they have detected a situation, that someone wants to do something, and keep going. So no conventional design for robots, and this is what happened in São Paulo State's 2018 explosion. So you can see the photo. It was burning for 2 days. So they stopped the part of the the chemical plant to do some maintenance procedure, and then they start up the machines again. They didn't detect that there was gas leaking. The sensors that were there didn't detect that as well. Some people walked in that area a few minutes before the explosion, and it stopped the factory for 6 months. And this really affected Petrobras, because we have hundreds of facilities there, but because of that explosion, it reducing 1.5% of the production, and it's a lot, millions and millions of dollars. Thanks God, nobody was hurt. So because of that, it happened few months, 1 year before we were signing the project, the contract, and then the pandemic, we needed to stop. When the pandemic finished, we start everything again. So now we are in the final process of signing everything. So they want to have something that has a high mobility, can monitor the environment, gas detection, leaking detection, abnormal situations detection, and get sensor readings and use those in a way to alert people and increase the security, and have also thermal images, okay? And work autonomously. That's what we still don't have. It's part of the research to make it feasible. As partners, we have MIT, not that much today, but ETH in Zurich, University of Zurich, a little bit of EPFL, but mainly here, because I don't know if you are aware of that. Zurich today is like Silicon Valley for robots in Europe. because of the ecosystem they had there, many startups are in Zurich. And they get good financial support of governments and investors, and they are growing very fast. Okay? And also from Italy, but especially from Zurich. So this is a short movie of what people are doing in Anybotics. That's one partner in this project. You can see this chemical plant. The guy doing the inspection, so with a thermal camera checking, and then the robot comes. So this is Animal D. It's a four-legged robot. It goes there, so human beings are not around. You can plan in advance the path. He knows where he should take pictures, where he should get image, and get the data of the sensors. So this basically is part of the idea that we are working on. Lots of sensors. Maybe you already know some of them. You have LiDARs, thermal cameras, and other sensors. So it's quite a expensive toy. A very interesting one. But this is the demo area they have in Zurich. I've been there sometimes already. So it detects people, goes around. Makes lots of noise. It's really lots of noise. One thing that they need to improve is those, I'm going to call feet, the rubber part. They need to improve that because offshore it's ruined after some hours. So this is something that they need to improve. But it's a very interesting application, and you're going to see more and more things like this in the future. Okay. Animal D, so you have omnidirectional capabilities. It goes upstairs, downstairs. It can have a payload of approximately 10 kilograms. And last year in São Carlos, we had it there. Every year we have an event called Sematron. It's Semana da Engenharia Mecatrônica. So it's during a week, the undergraduate students organize an event where they invite people from the companies, professors from abroad, professors from Brazil, and they visit also industries around, like Embraer, like Tecansin, Volkswagen, and other companies. And we had the opportunity to bring one, thanks to this project with Petrobras, so they sent one to visit us. The students really love it. That is the Swiss consul. He was visiting us there that day too. They like to take pictures. And today we also have this one there, it's Go 1. Edu version. It's from China, so it's cheaper. Very, very cheaper compared to the Swiss one. But I don't know what you think about Chinese products here. In Brazil, we don't like that much. It's not, we don't associate Chinese products with high quality. We have also other partners in Brazil that are buying this robot, like ArcelorMittal. I think probably you know this company. Vale, that's the biggest mining company in Brazil. And we already had problems with the robot. So we contacted the Chinese guys and said, look, it's not working well. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to send a new head for you. Just unplug the one that's there and plug this new one. So for us at the university, it's okay. But for a company, they don't trust it anymore, you see. So it becomes a problem. This company, Uni3, they have other versions. They are much cheaper than the Swiss ones, And that's why in the project we are buying the Swiss robots and also these Chinese robots. We want to show Petrobras where they can put their money, who they should trust. Okay? And I'm almost ending the presentation. So, opportunities for you. First of all, I need to show you what we have there, the Robotics Center. Today, I'm the dean of this center, but from time to time we change. It's like rotating, so we can share the responsibilities there. Today, we have 11 professors working on robotics in this center, 7 from ESC, Engineering School, and 4 from the Computer Science Institute. So up to now, we have 378 papers in journals, and concludes supervisions, PhD, master, and this is undergraduate research project. So you see lots of people. This is very interesting because here we select the best students and we try to keep them with us at USP. It's really hard because scholarships are not that good when you compare to the banks. The banks go there and get all the good students we have, especially the ones that work on AI. They want them making robots for the market, okay? And basically, this is what we have today in the group. We have 130 students, 11 professors. If you think about going there for a master or a PhD and work on robotics, it's a nice place, São Carlos, because we have 3 postgraduate programs that are the top level in Brazil. Computer science, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. In Brazil, we have this CAPES. It's a federal agency that rank the programs, and the highest rank is 7. So it means that it's like an international program. And we have, each one has a different selection process, I'm sorry about that, and different rules. For instance, in the mechanical engineering program where I work on, we have an exam. You can do it from here, but it must be in Portuguese or English. We don't have it in Spanish. It's like a really exam with basic questions about mechanical engineering, programming, thermal science, mechanics, that. In the website, later I can send you, you have the last exams from the last 15 years, so you can have an idea about what they want from you. Today we have 4 projects from Rota 2030. This is a program in Brazil because what is going to happen in the country? Mercosul is making an agreement with the European Union, and it's supposed to zero the taxes, importation tax from Europe in 2030. And this is going to have big impact in many industries in the country. So they are trying to increase the technical level of these companies, and they are giving some financial support for research focused on things related to the automotive industry, like security, like fabrication, manufacturing, things like this. So we have 4 projects running in this calls, approximately $1.4 million. One National Institute of Science and Technologies is this INCT. So we have this research net with USP, Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, Federal University of Minas Gerais, Aeronautical Institute, Federal Institute, Unicamp, in São Paulo, Federal University of Amazonas, CTI, that's another Federal Research Institute, and Federal University of Ceará. So there we like to make this research net, because we can't do everything. So we have colleagues everywhere. We call them to work with us, and it's good because the students can go abroad. And we also have several Embrapa projects. Embrapa are They give financial support for innovation in industry, FAPESP as well. So you see the difference when it's getting smaller. It's hard to get money from the government, okay? So here you have a young researcher, regular projects, PhD, master, I should not say scientific initiation, but undergraduate projects. And like Henry got financial support from this and this, going abroad. This is also interesting when he went to Italy. Oh, what's the name of the city? I forgot. Parma. Yeah, Parma. He went there for 6 months. FAPESP paid everything for him to go abroad and do this sabbatical period there in one of the most important labs. It was this lab, Vision System Lab in Parma. And what we are signing now, that as I told you, with Petrobras, that we are buying those walking robots, it goes up. So with companies, we can get more financial support, especially for the scholarships for the students, okay? So we have these two ANP Petrobras projects. ANP is something that's regulatory agents, federal agents, that forces all the companies, oil and gas companies, to invest part of the money they get on research. And we have the same system when it comes to producing energy, electrical companies, and to transportation systems. So this is nice in Brazil. Many years ago, I think 20 years ago, they approved a law forcing the companies to invest on research. And this is keeping the universities with good infrastructure and giving financial support for the students, okay? And we submit these 2 more projects, and they were approved. Again, here is a research net with other universities. So in total, if everything goes well, up to end of December, we have $26 million. Wow, it's a huge amount of money. Lots of equipments, scholarships for postdoc, PhD, master, and undergraduate students. So only my project is like 50 scholarships that we need to select students and also researchers to work with us, okay? And as we had those numbers, I went to the president of USP and told him, oh, you see, we are doing our part in the job, but we need infrastructure, because our labs were really poor for all this. So we got the approval of the president of USP. We are going to construct a building that will be something like this. This is the first version. We are still discussing. It should be ready before the end of 2025, because then the president will change, and presidents, they like to have plates with their names, so in the buildings. So it must be ready as fast as possible. We are still discussing the thematic areas, but basically what we are doing now, we are going to keep doing manipulation, aerial robots, ground robots, robots for health, agriculture, and inspection. Okay, so the building is like 5,500 square meters. It would be enough for bringing everyone together. Because today we have labs in many institutes, and you have the feeling that what you are doing, someone already did in the corner. So you're wasting some time. And putting everyone together, I think would be a great opportunity. Okay, so we like partnerships. Today we have some partners here in Colombia. Your university is one of them. And when we say to send students abroad, all these labs here are open for students that are with us. Doesn't matter if they are Brazilians, they are Colombians, from Chile, or wherever they come, okay? Some companies that we work with, here it's interesting because you have small companies like Agrorobotica. It's a startup. We work with them. And big companies like Petrobras and Vale. If I'm not wrong, Vale is the biggest company in South America these days, the mining company. Okay, this is my contact. Feel free to be in touch with me if you have questions. But as I told you, I'm going to send to William a PhD version of this presentation with the link, so it's nice for you. And I'm open for questions. Thank you for your attention. Maybe he can tell you something about his experience there.
Aló, aló, aló. Voy a subir aquí para quedar todos aquí junticos. Bien, bueno, sí, les voy a contar de mi experiencia, cómo fue. Eso fue en el 2013, o tal vez antes, sí. Entonces, bueno, yo me vinculé al laboratorio de robótica de la USP en Sao Carlos a través de una beca de la FAPESPI, que es un fondo solo del estado de Sao Paulo. En Sao Paulo, pues yo diría que hay mucho interés en el desarrollo de la sociedad y de la parte tecnológica también. Entonces, el estado como tal, Brasil es un país federado como Estados Unidos, entonces el estado de Sao Paulo pues administra sus propios recursos y dedica una gran parte o una buena parte de ese dinero a la investigación. Entonces, esa beca de FAPESPI, pues desde mi punto de vista, pues es buenísima porque me dio los tiquetes aéreos para irme de aquí de Colombia hasta Brasil, me dio dinero para instalarme en Brasil, me daba dinero también para vivir en Brasil, inclusive con lo que me daban me sobraba porque la ciudad de Sao Carlos no es que sea una ciudad cara, es barata. Entonces me alcanzaba hasta para mandar plata a Colombia para pagar las deudas. Entonces, y pues adicionalmente en Brasil pues no hay que pagar por la matrícula en las maestrías, es gratis. La universidad tiene restaurante, entonces la alimentación casi que es gratuita también. Y yo diría que pues la gran ventaja es que el ambiente de la universidad es un ambiente de innovación y tecnología. Entonces es un ambiente donde realmente uno puede llegar a desarrollar todas sus habilidades creativas, hacer muchas conexiones con otras personas interesadas en tecnología, en desarrollo y aprender un montón. Y adicionalmente, dentro de esas conexiones hay conexiones con muchos centros de investigación fuera de Colombia. Entonces, en mi caso, yo logré ir también a través de una beca donde me pagaron todo. Logré ir a Italia 6 meses. Entonces, me pagaron también los tiquetes de avión. Me dieron plata para instalarme allá, me pagaban mensualmente. Me daban plata también para viajar a congresos. Estuve en algunos congresos en Alemania. Entonces, pues realmente desde el punto de vista de desarrollar esa creatividad y crear cosas, investigar, hay muchísimas oportunidades a través del laboratorio de la USP y de Sao Carlos también. Entonces, pues, el que le guste eso, pues es una gran oportunidad realmente.
Muchas gracias para el profesor Henry. Algo para complementar de todo lo que dijo el profe Henry, pues además de las ayudas, y hacer énfasis en esa parte del ambiente académico, ¿no? Realmente se siente uno una universidad grande, donde ustedes pueden trabajar las 24 horas del día si quieren. Bueno, normalmente toca trabajar las 24 horas del día, la biblioteca trabaja todo el tiempo, los laboratorios están abiertos todo el tiempo, el acceso a los laboratorios es total. Como dijo el profe Henry, pues hay allá lo llaman bolsas, nosotros llamamos aquí becas, para los estudiantes de posgrado que hacen maestría y los que hacen doctorado. Actualmente estar por cerca de los…
De mestrado, maestria, a FAPESP, R$2.500.
$2.500, que equivale más o menos a 2 millones de pesos por una de las agencias. Hay otra que es
Doutorado, 4.300.
$4.300, que aproximadamente son unos 3.800.000 pesos.
Pós-doutorado, 8.500.
Postdoctorado, después del doctorado, son aproximadamente unos 7.800.000, 7.500.000 para postdoctorado. Da FAPESP, más da CNPq.
CNPq é um pouco menor.
É um pouco menor.
Doutorado, CNPq, 3.100.
Doctorado para CNPq son $3.100, aproximadamente unos 2.700.000, 2.600.000.
Mestrado, 2.100.
Aproximadamente unos 1.700.000 pesos.
Pós-doutorado, 5.500.
Para postdoctorado, 4.800.000, ¿qué? 4.800.000, 4.700.000 más o menos, al precio del dólar hoy. ¿Eso qué significa? Que, ahora bien, como todo en el mundo no hay cama para tanta gente, ¿quiénes son los que se llevan esas becas? Pues los que tienen los mejores resultados en los procesos de admisión. Para ingresar a la Escuela de Ingeniería de San Carlos hay que presentar un examen, no es entrevista, que me cayó bonito, que me cayó bien, no, es un examen de conocimientos. Yo siempre he dicho que los estudiantes egresados de este programa podrían fácil ganarse una beca de esas, porque es un examen de 20 preguntas, donde tienen que responder obligatoriamente 10 para calificarlo de 1 a 10, donde se evalúan diferentes aspectos relacionados con las diferentes escuelas o los diferentes cursos de la escuela. Entonces, conocimientos de ingeniería eléctrica, de electrónica, de mecánica, en el área de térmicas, de fluidos
Programação.
y programación. Y tal vez alguna cosa de control.
Sim.
Y control. Y las preguntas son muy sencillas. En el sitio web de la escuela ustedes encuentran los exámenes de todos los semestres, todos los años, entonces pueden practicar súper fácil. Una vez que completan y son admitidos y si están en los primeros lugares, son candidatos a obtener una beca de estas. Estoy seguro que ustedes lo lograrían porque pues, es el área de conocimiento de ustedes saben de todas esas áreas y si tienen interés, pues es muy chévere. San Carlos, como lo dijo el profesor, como lo dijo Henry, es una ciudad muy tranquila, es una ciudad pequeña, muy del estilo, no sé, tal vez Zipaquirá, Cajicá. Es una ciudad pequeña, una ciudad universitária. Eu não lembro, professor, mas eu escutei que São Carlos é uma das cidades, eu não sei se do Brasil ou do mundo, que tem a maior quantidade de doutores. No mundo ou no Brasil?
No Brasil.
Então, São Carlos é uma cidade em torno das…
Doutor para cada 100 habitantes.
mas tem em torno de 200.000 habitantes?
250.000.
250.000 habitantes y lo que el profesor acaba de decir, que tiene un doctor por cada 100 habitantes. Entonces, una ciudad académica, pequeña, muy agradable, donde el ambiente académico es alto, esa sensación de conocimiento es total en todos los lugares. Y pues nada, esperamos que con la charla del profesor Marcelo Becker, ustedes queden entusiasmados para hacer intercambios, ir y conocer la universidad, si les gusta pues volver y después postularse a una maestría, hacer el curso maestría, doctorado, postdoctorado. Estoy seguro que a todos les va a ir muy, muy bien. Entonces, muchas gracias. No sé si hay alguna pregunta en especial, algo que quieran saber. Bueno, eso sí, en el restaurante se come frijol todos los días, pero también una de las cosas muy buenas, cuando yo estaba, eu não sei quanto que estava o valor do almoço agora, mas en aquella época, que era 2011, 2015, el valor era aproximado de 2.000 pesos por un almuerzo, es decir, más o menos que haya subido a 3.500 pesos, que sería el doble, que no creo que haya subido, póngale 4.000 por un almuerzo con frijol, arroz, ensalada, carne, una proteína y tan. Y almuerzo y cena de lunes a viernes, sábado almuerzo nada más, pero pues si yo voy a sostener mi alimentación con 8.000 pesos diarios, pues yo creo que vale la pena, ¿cierto? Y pues ya el que tenga mayores recursos o deseos, pues va y come particular. Pero pues es unas bondades de las cosas buenas de allá, me parece que es. Además que pues, el profesor lo dijo, sin embargo no lo mostró de manera exacta, de acuerdo con la clasificación que hace Times Higher Education, que es uno de los rankings más reconocidos, respetables y serios a nivel mundial, porque salen cada 8 días rankings de clasificación de las universidades de diferentes índoles, sin embargo es de lo más serios, ustedes pueden ir a buscarlo. La Universidad de Sao Paulo está entre las 250 mejores universidades del mundo. Se pelea el primer puesto a nivel latinoamericano con la Universidad, la UAM de México, la Católica de Chile y está entre las 100 mejores. Bueno, yo lo revisé hace un par de meses, no me había fijado.
Em 2015 era dos 250, agora entre as 100.
Entre las 100 mejores ciudades del mundo, entonces pues es un orgullo, es un reto, ¿sí? Poder tener esa, poder decir, soy graduado de esa universidad, o más que graduado, es haber estudiado.
William, posso falar em português mesmo? É importante dizer para vocês que temos um acordo de cooperação, então todo semestre 5 alunos da universidade aqui podem ir para a USP em São Carlos fazer disciplinas. Se precisar mais alunos, é só negociar com o Departamento de Relações Exteriores lá da Escola de Engenharia.
Hay un acuerdo para que 5 estudiantes, al menos por ahora 5 estudiantes puedan hacer intercambio allá en Brasil. De hecho, en este momento está, algunos de ustedes lo conocen, está Pablo de Grave, algunos de ustedes lo conocen, es un estudiante de los primeros que ingresó aquí a la universidad. Él venía de un traslado de ingeniería mecánica a la Universidad Nacional, llegó acá porque le pareció que el pensum de ingeniería mecatrónica de la militar era de los mejores. Es un estudiante que tiene un desempeño bastante alto, muy dedicado, y en este momento está realizando, de hecho, su segundo semestre de intercambio allá. Se fue, estuvo el primer semestre como en un intercambio en calidad de pasantía e investigación, no es la pasantía, ir a trabajar en una empresa, 6 meses, va a ganar dinero, no está ganando dinero, está ganando experiencia, conocimiento, no solamente experiencia académica, la experiencia de vida en otro país que a veces ayuda más, porque el conocimiento pues está en los libros, yo siempre lo digo, ¿cierto? Pero el conocimiento de vida, la experiencia, conocer personas tan agradables como son todos los brasileros. Se fue 6 meses y le fue tan mal que le dijeron que ese otros 6 meses. Está haciendo su segundo semestre de pasantía, algunas disciplinas allá las está desarrollando también, después cuando venga se les hace la homologación. Entonces estoy seguro que todos que quieran ir, pues es un país muy lindo, es una ciudad muy hermosa, hay oportunidad de hacer muchas cosas, deporte, otras vainas, pero creo que le interesaría la parte académica. Bueno, no sé si hay alguna otra pregunta, alguna cosa para cerrar ya aquí. Entonces ustedes pueden entrar al site de la universidad, al sitio web de la universidad, es ESCC uspi.br y lo buscan allí. Entonces, ahí, en ese sitio, ahí en ese enlace ustedes ingresan allí, buscan posgraduación, y graduate programs and research. Graduate Programs and Research, hacen clic allí y van a encontrar las diferentes áreas de posgrado, que es mecánica, eléctrica, materiales, ambiental, civil, bueno, varias. Y si entran a mecánica, que es en donde está el área de interés de ustedes, allí van a encontrar todo el proceso, ahí dice proceso selectivo. Y no sé si da para entrar ahí. El profesor nos va a ayudar. Así, el programa de posgraduación en Ingeniería Mecánica da ESC, USP. Y tienen proceso selectivo aquí abajo. Aquí abajo de ingreso, proceso selectivo, y allí encuentran toda la información y bolsas son becas y los exámenes, las pruebas, los exámenes de ingreso, que ustedes los pueden tomar y desarrollar y empezar a entrenarse, a practicar, y se van a dar cuenta. Yo siempre he dicho, los egresados de este programa de Ingeniería en Mecatrónica son excelentes alumnos y estoy seguro que harían un muy buen papel, porque las preguntas para ustedes son muy, muy sencillas. Entonces,
hoje o processo é todo pela internet.
Então, dá aún para hacer por la internet, no tienen que desplazarse hasta Brasil, solamente pues enviar la documentación y, bueno, hacer las averiguaciones del caso con la embajada.
Mas vocês precisam ter orientador lá, supervisor. Então é preciso entrar em contato primeiro com o supervisor para
entonces,
participar do processo.
Sí, importante información. Cuando se ingresa a un posgrado, es importante, básico, esencial que un profesor nos reciba, porque es esa persona a la que le decimos, me llamo William Gómez Rivera, me gustaría trabajar con usted en esta área, me interesa esta área para hacer maestría y posteriormente doctorado, ¿cierto? Entonces, hay que enviarle toda nuestra información, pero no es solamente la información, donde nací, donde me crié, donde hice la escuela, el colegio, sino, oiga, ¿qué he hecho? ¿Dónde están los congresos a los que he asistido? ¿Dónde están los papers, los artículos en los cuales he participado con mi profesor aquí en la universidad o con otros compañeros y que he publicado, si sea una revista pequeñita, ahí sea un congreso allí en Chía, allí en Cajica, pero es un congreso. Eso demuestra que el estudiante tiene esa formación previa para investigar, para hacer posgrado. Entonces, se envía la hoja, se entra en contacto y el profesor analiza. No es el único, allí hay ustedes pueden entrar a cada uno de los cursos y ver cuáles son los diferentes profesores y ver el área de interés de ellos, entran a la hoja de vida, es como el látex de ellos, que es nuestro CVLAC de allá, de Brasil, y allí van a ver cuál es el área de interés de cada profesor, entonces ustedes entran en contacto con él y pues ya depende de la capacidad del profesor para poder atender. Hay un número que limita el número de estudiantes una regla que limita el número de estudiantes que pueden atender, pero pues en general siempre somos bienvenidos allá. La experiencia que yo tuve es que les gusta trabajar con los colombianos, que son bastante juiciosos. No sé si tengan alguna otra pregunta. Sí, aquí en el currículo LATES, que es aquí en Colombia nosotros lo llamamos el currículo CBLAC. Entonces entra usted el CBLAC del profesor William Gómez Rivera. ¿Listo? Entonces, ¿qué es lo que ha hecho el profesor? ¿Qué ha publicado el profesor Henry? Cualquiera. Y lo mismo, pero allá se llama LATEX, currículo LATEX. Y normalmente cuando entran al site del curso, está el nombre de los profesores y al frente un enlace que los manda al currículo LATEX de ellos. Y pueden ver cuáles las áreas de interés. Da para entender un poquitico el portugués, o pues ahí lo pasan por el traductor de Google, si no entienden. Y cualquier duda, pues estoy yo, está el profesor Henry, pues que estudiamos allá y los podemos orientar en caso dado. Listo, muchachos, muchas gracias y nuevamente un aplauso para el profesor Becker. Gracias.
Política de privacidad. Dando cumplimiento a lo establecido en la Ley 1581 de 2012, por la cual se dictan disposiciones generales para la protección de datos personales, 17 de octubre de 2012, numeral 48587. Le informamos que durante el evento se realizarán capturas fotográficas y de video que se podrán publicar en diferentes medios de comunicación de la Universidad Militar Nueva Granada y externos, con la única finalidad de guardar memorias y realizar la difusión del mismo. Para ello le pedimos su autorización, la cual se entenderá otorgada con su presencia en el evento. Descargo de responsabilidad. Las opiniones expresadas por los ponentes, expositores y o público en general durante el presente evento son de exclusiva responsabilidad de sus autores. No pretenden reflejar las opiniones, pensamiento o convicciones ni políticas institucionales de la Universidad Militar Nueva Granada y su comunidad académico-administrativa.